What's the session plan for today?
Good morning. Well, we're 11 days out from Abu Dhabi, so this is one of my last key gym sessions. I'm making it a tiny bit lighter just to minimise the risk of any residual fatigue. I don't think I'll be carrying any in from a gym session today, but just to be on the safe side. So for myself, I've been working on some right-sided quad and hip flexor weakness, so I'm really targeting that. I've noticed that since I've had my two boys. Made a little bit worse since having my second one, so I'm working on that. Some calf strength and some overall general running stability and strength to help me minimise my fatigue on the back end of the marathon. So I know it's hard for everybody from 30k plus, so I'm just really trying to help my body stay as fresh as possible so I can hold my pace for that last 12k. Exercise number 1, crab walks. I always pretty much do these every single gym session, and that's just because they're such a good warm-up exercise because you're in a nice little semi-squat position, so you're warming up your lower limbs, you're warming up your core muscles, and you're getting some really good glute strengthening in there as well. So glute meats in particular to help my single leg stability during run. These ones I'm going for 15 repetitions one way, 15 repetitions back the other way. So now I'm getting really, really nice and warmed up. As time goes on, I get a thicker band, or I can go a wider step. But also, how is this for an outside, beautiful gym? It makes getting up in the morning pretty easy. I love listening to the ocean. It's one of the only sessions where I really don't listen to music because I just love being outside and hearing the ocean. So I hope you're enjoying it as much as I'm enjoying doing my workout here. Okay, next exercise that I'm doing is some hip airplanes. So, or standing clamshells. I always give exercises slightly different names and I can never quite remember exactly what I call them, but it doesn't matter because the purpose is the same. So for these ones, I'm really working on single leg stability of my standing leg. I'm working on hip abduction and external rotation and stabilizing glutes on the other leg. So this is another really nice activation or warm-up exercise for me, so lots of core and lower limb working with this one, but it really focuses on keeping that really nice single leg stability through here. So not only is that important for injury prevention, so to help minimize risk of things like Achilles syndrome, Barney's knee, or any glute tendinopathy or glute bursitis, but it also really helps with that single leg stability at the back end of the marathon. So hopefully my hips won't drop quite as much as they would have previously, and that's going to help me become really, really nice and economical, help minimise losing any unnecessary energy so I can hit my goal time. These ones, if you were counting, going at 12 repetitions on each side. I didn't start off with 12, and they didn't start off looking, hopefully they didn't go down, but they were a lot wobblier, but I really worked on these. I'm probably at the stage where I could progress the reps or get a bigger band, but again, because I'm less than 2 weeks to race day, I'm going to keep them as they are because I really can still feel them working. And because I'm talking to you, I'm multitasking, I've actually lost count of my number of reps. This next activation exercise is one that is a really good warm-up for my main set, one that you'll see in a bit. But it really targets my relative weakness of those hip flexors, but also I love it because it works everything on the stabilizing leg as well. And it's not only good for those glute meats and those hip stabilizers, but also works my abductors as well. So again, like most of my exercises, it works everything all in one movement, making it a really time effective, really good injury prevention and performance exercise. So with this one, pop the cable machine around your foot. If you don't have a cable machine, you can also do this with a band. I do this with a band quite often if I don't have access to this. So with this one, you're coming back into a reverse lunge, coming down, half neck pull up into your hip flexion, control down. My first ones are always quite wobbly. Up, control down. And you're really focusing on this knee, not letting it fall in towards the midline as you come back into that lunge, so not letting it fall in, keeping it nice and straight. So you're working through here, and as you come up, Work on that nice powerful hip flexion. And as you get to the top of the movement here, holding it for a second, control down, strong, powerful, hold, down, hold, control down. Lots of concentration. This next exercise I do alternate at times with pogos because they're really good for, pogos are really good for running economy improvements and helping load your Achilles tendon. But again, because I'm close to race day, I'm spacing those out a little bit more to minimise fatigue. And I am doing my isometric calf raise holds. These are really good for anybody who wants to load up through their Achilles tendon and through their calf. What you'll notice when I do these, actually I'll swap sides with my kettlebell so you can see better. But now I've got a balance. When I do these, you'll notice that my knee is bent and I'm coming up on my toes, and you won't see this, but I'm really focusing on gliding through my big toe. So the reason that my knee is bent, so we target the soleus muscle that's got slightly more slow twitch muscle fibers compared to your gastroc, so the bigger calf muscle. So that's why I'm doing these with my knee bent, to really target that. I'm going to hold this for 30 seconds. You can do this body weight, but I find it a little bit easier now when I'm holding it, so I like to always hold on to a weight. So this is really nice isometric loading through my calf muscles, but also a really nice way to load up through my Achilles without causing excessive fatigue. So these are a huge staple in my program. They're my non-negotiable, and if you have any form of Achilles issues, I strongly recommend to do these too. 5 sets of 30 seconds on each side, and the good thing is, because they don't cause that fatigue, you can do them daily. This next exercise that I do is the one that primarily focuses for me on my hip flexor and my quad weakness that I felt, like I said, ever since I've had boys. So this one is an eccentric hip flexion, so it also targets core muscles as well, which is really helpful. You can do an alternative for these where you pop a kettlebell around your foot and you slowly lower it down, but I don't have the right weight for those at the moment, so this is my alternative one that I like to do. Because I really only have the weakness on one side, I do these single leg, as you should do with most exercises that we do for triathlon running. So you're going to hook one foot underneath your weight. Make sure this is a heavy weight so it doesn't go rolling away. So you just want something stable to hook your foot underneath. Other leg stays nice and flexed at your hip and your knee. And you are slowly going to control down, all the way down. And as you come up, up, up. So what makes this more hip flexor focused rather than core focused is the fact that my foot is held into the ground. If my foot was off the ground, it would be a little bit more core focused, but because it's stable, it works a lot more hip flexor. So your trick with this one is really focus on that nice slow control down, so you're lengthening out that hip flexor, really working it, and come back up again. So that was my first main set exercise when I'm working on my hip flexor and quadricep and core strength. My next one's working on the opposite, so it's a little bit of back, lots of glute and some hamstring as well, because obviously I like to balance that strengthening out. So I'm doing a glute kickback. I'll often substitute these with a deadlift if I'm not doing my glute kickback because it does quite similar. I pick the deadlift if I really wanted to load up through my upper body, but today I'm going to go with the glute kickback. It's a little bit easier to set up, and there may be some rain coming, so as beautiful as this outdoor gym is, you always have to consider the elements. It's either going to rain or it's too hot, so this time in the morning is perfect, but I'm going to get it done before that rain comes. Now, with your glute kickbacks, obviously a big focus is working on the glute strength of this leg that's actually doing the kicking, but a lot of people forget about strengthening out the standing leg. So just like with my activations, you want to think about keeping this knee tracking nice and straight, so not letting it fall in towards the midline, knee slightly bent, hip slightly bent, holding that position, and you're really feeling the stabilizing leg as much as you're going to feel your leg that's actually kicking back working as well. What you'll notice when I'm doing this is I'm focusing on a really powerful kick back. That's because when we run, we do a really strong thrust on the traction when we propel ourselves forward, so that stance phase. And then I'm focusing on a slow, controlled eccentric in to really maximise the strength benefits of this exercise. You're not only working during the kickback, but you're getting some nice eccentric strength on the way in. As you get better and better at glute kickbacks, focus on really only holding on just for a little bit of safety more than anything. So you want to aim for really nice and light support with your hands. Really nice. I hope you enjoyed this little insight into my last key gym session before Abu Dhabi Marathon. I'm hoping that these sessions that I have done consistently 3 to 4 times a week over the last 12 weeks are going to really help me hit my goal of that sub 310. We'll see how we go. Hopefully I can race in London next year. But I hope you enjoyed this insight. Give these exercises a go, particularly if you're training up for your next half marathon or marathon. If you have any questions about any of the exercises, just pop them in the comments below and I'll be very happy to answer them. If you want to get on board with our strength training and complete some exercises like this, make sure you jump on the Valere app. It's now available on Android and Apple. If the app is not quite your thing, we've got PDFs as well, so you can jump on our website, valeriaendurance.com, and use those. And thank you for joining the Valere community.